Hey guys, okay, so my phone is dying. It's plugged into the wall. And I just got back from the gym, so I apologize already ahead of time for both of my videos being revolved around me going to the gym. I just don't have a lot of time, so I have a little bit of free time right now, and I figured I would make the video while I can. I also want to apologize for taking so long with making this video. I kind of took like a little bit of a social networking break. I guess I probably shouldn't have done that so new into starting this, but I did, and it was very helpful. I felt like I was like really getting caught up on Instagram and stuff like that, and I wasn't using my time wisely. So instead of spending that time playing on my phone and social networking, I just tried to serve the Lord in any way that He had called me to. But anyway, this video is a testimony video before I get way off subject. And already my mind jumps from thing to thing to thing. So if this is a little jumbled, sorry. But I'm going to try to map it out for you as clear as I can. So pretty much, I grew up going to church my whole life. I went to a Baptist church. I went with my brother, my mom, and my dad every Sunday. It was pretty routine, I would say, up until about high school. We went regularly. I don't know if you would necessarily call us Christians, or me and my brother I could speak for. I don't know how my parents were. I was too young to figure it all out. But we went through the motions of going to church on Sundays. I can't remember exactly when. I believe it was 8th or 9th grade when I was heavily involved in a youth group. So throughout my life, I had moments of being hot and cold, where I was more interested than others in learning about what it was really like what was the true meaning of being a Christian. So 8th or 9th grade, I was heavily involved in a youth group. I was really, really interested in everything. I was hanging out with all these people every weekend. We all got really close. We were doing like retreats and Bible studies and stuff like that, and it was really cool. Well, I can't remember exactly why or what, but I do know something happened with the youth pastor and kind of made our little youth group crumble. So I kind of had a little bit of a let go period from that. And then throughout high school, I eventually got a job. I think junior year I started working, and I had like 3 jobs. So I worked on Sundays and didn't feel like waking up on Sundays to go, or if I had off, I didn't feel like waking up to go to church, and it kind of became like a little bit of a pattern in my family. And eventually we just kind of were not regularly attending church anymore. Then there was a point in college where I got reconnected with an old friend who was saved, and he was an extremely good person to have influence in my life. 100%. He really made me on fire. I started really reading my Bible, and this is probably the first time I ever really sat down and really read my Bible. And I was really on fire for everything, and then him and I had a falling out, and I also started to kind of detach. I don't know if necessarily at that point I felt that I was really ready to commit to being a Christian and living for God. I was pretty into like myself. I was very self-absorbed. I was going to a fashion school, and I thought I was real cool and all that other good jazz. And then so that's when I kind of felt I had my 2 hot moments. I do remember this one time though. I told you I was going to jump around. I was in class. I went to FIT in New York, and I was in class, and that was when like iPod Touches were like brandy new, and my professor, it was my philosophy class, and I remember this specifically. My professor had downloaded a new app on his iPod Touch, and he was like, I downloaded this new app, and you can tell when you're gonna die. And everyone was kind of like, okay. And he's like, who wants to know when they're gonna die? And nobody raised their hand but me. Now, mind you, I was in a class, auditorium style class. There was a lot of students in there. I went to a pretty big college, so there were a decent amount of students in this class, and he asked me in front of all of them why I wanted to know. And I said, because I know that I need to be saved, so if I knew that I was going to die soon, I would like to do it now. And he asked me, well, why wouldn't you do it now? And I didn't really have an answer. So I knew, like, in my heart that I really wanted to give my all to Christ. I just didn't know how or when, and I wasn't ready to myself to commit to it. I was, I was still in that wild stage of my life. So I remember that, and then I finished up college there, and I went through a really wild stage. I wouldn't necessarily say that I was addicted to alcohol or a heavy drinker, because I never really did drink a lot. It always bothered my stomach, but I did drink, and I did go out often, and I went through a stage where I was very disrespectful. I didn't care about anyone's feelings. I didn't have feelings. I didn't worry about anything, but I really didn't. I had a very emotionless attitude about stuff, which hurt a lot of people, which disappointed a lot of people, which was not a good influence on a lot of people. And I just had this mentality that if you didn't like me or I didn't like you, I didn't have to talk to you, and I didn't have to be bothered by you. I would cut you out of my life and ignore you. And that kind of was how I dealt with my problems. And I started gaining a lot of weight, which I don't necessarily even want to consider myself was like fat or anything, but it was a significant amount of weight that I have never seen on myself before. I had always grown up being pretty tall and thin, and I had a really quick metabolism, so it was weird. So this kind of jump-started everything. I started dieting. I did a detox with my father, and I had just gotten back from Vegas. Vegas, I would say, was my last, like, boom. And I, with the heavy drinking, and then I cut all that out. I started dieting and eating extremely healthy. I didn't go to the gym for the first 3 months or anything like that. I just really got on a health kick because I had a lot of stomach issues as well. So this really helped me with that. And then through my process, I started working out, and then about 5 months into that, I started dating this guy. I don't want to blame him for anything, or any of the reasons why I had gotten so low in my life. So I believe that our relationship was just extremely unhealthy. I think we both were pretty broken, and we're trying to just fix each other or fix ourselves with each other, and it just wasn't working. We were together for quite a while. I had gotten pretty skinny, like scary skinny, and I was going through a denial where I didn't think I was that thin. But I don't think I had a problem. I don't know. I was still very self-absorbed, so I was still eating extremely healthy and working out a ton, and I was dating this guy, and then I kind of stopped with the whole eating healthy and working out a ton. I still ate healthy, but I kind of ate more of whatever I wanted, so I stopped being so obsessed with that, and I became a little bit more obsessed with him. I don't know, we got to a point where we were both extremely broken. I hit rock bottom. We had broken up the first time, and he had gotten a girlfriend right right after that, and I didn't think I was gonna be able to handle it. I was really, really upset, and I turned to the Lord. I thought for sure this was it. I'm ready to give myself to the Lord. I had started going to a new church, Calvary Chapel in Howell, New Jersey. If you ever go to it, it's Cornerstone Calvary Chapel in Howell, New Jersey. It is awesome. Pastor Chris is awesome. Worship team is awesome. But I had started going there, and my spirit started to be uplifted a little bit more. And at this point, I was a hairdresser. I did go to cosmetology school through that whole year that I was dating this guy, and got my cosmetology license. So now I was a hairdresser. See, I'm jumping. I'm skipped a little bit, but I'm jumping. I am now a hairdresser. I have to go to work at 12 on Sunday, so I'm still able to go to church in the morning. So I was attending church, and I was ready to give myself to the Lord. I felt that I was, at least. Then I went through a couple weeks with just really relying on the Lord, really giving him my all. I was starting to feel a little bit better, and then I started talking to my ex-boyfriend again. All I did was talk to him on the phone, and I got off the phone with him, and I got on my hands and knees and was hysterically crying. I didn't know what I knew what I was getting myself back into all over again. So, I prayed, and of course I went back to him. We dated for another month, I would say, about a month, and I knew at that point that our relationship was done. I knew that either way, there was no way we were going to be able to make it together and be in a healthy relationship. We were both extremely, extremely broken. So then what happened was, I was at church one Sunday. I was singing, and I was looking up at the cross, and I said to the Lord, I'm going to do this for you. He said to me, I felt him moving me, you need to break up with this boy, you need to clear your mind, you need to focus on me. So I did. I gave my heart to the Lord that day, and we broke up. We stopped talking. And I was really able to commit. It was like the first time in my life I felt like the entire world was lifted off my shoulders. And it was so awesome. It was the most awesome feeling I've ever felt. And immediately my heart was changed. Now, immediately my life wasn't changed. I stopped hanging out with the friends I was hanging out with. But I still was holding on to some things that I didn't quite let go right away. But I slowly, now that I'm at the point where I'm at now, saw how the Holy Spirit was working in my life. Things just started being less and less appealing to me. I was, focusing more on my readings. I read the Bible every single morning. I think I maybe skipped like once in the past since I've been saved. I always make it a point to spend time with the Lord. It's just been so awesome. I've grown so much. It's so cool to see how much I've grown. It's so exciting to know how much more I will grow. But I totally gave my heart to the Lord, and it was amazing. So after that, about a couple weeks, I was pretty into John, because I started with the book of John, and I wanted to get baptized. So I went up to Pastor Chris, and I was like, I want to get baptized. And he was like, okay, we'll do it. And can you wait a couple months? We'll do it at Bridge Fest. And Bridge Fest is this huge Christian festival in New Jersey. It's really awesome. But 500 people got baptized that day in the ocean. And I did. June of last year, I got baptized. And then I moved to North Carolina, where I am now. And to make this a shorter story, if you have more questions, I have no problem answering them. I prayed on it. The Lord led me here, and I'm confident that He led me here 100%. So anywho, I'm in North Carolina now. I started out with a Calvary Chapel down here, and then I found a new church. And I started going to this church, and I've never been a part of something like this in my life. It's so awesome. I am learning so much. I feel every day I grow closer and closer to the Lord. It's awesome. My faith has just like extremely blossomed, and I'm so excited to see what the Lord has in store for me next. I'm excited to just keep learning. I'm really just excited. It's awesome. Like I don't even know how else to explain it. Like my heart is so happy, and like I have this peace now where, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I have tons of things that go wrong, and I have issues and I have burdens, but everything is just so much lighter now, and I don't worry about anything, and if I do worry, I always go to Philippians 4, 6, and 7, and I start praying. And it's really cool to just see the things that have gone through. I was just going through my Instagram because I was getting ready to delete it because I don't know, I felt like I got really caught up in that for no reason, and I ended up weeding through a couple pictures and things, and I got to the end where all my pictures were posted when I was just about getting saved, a little bit before I got saved, and then a little bit after I got saved. And it's just cool to see like the stages of changes I went through, and it was just really awesome. And I know it was like around my birthday, and I have this one picture of me, and there's like I went out to a bar, and but I didn't drink, and there's like all these bottles of alcohol everyone kept buying for me, all these shots, all these beers, all these drinks, and I have them all on the table in front of me, and I'm just looking at them like this in the picture, and it's like, I don't know, to someone looking at the picture, they're probably like, whoa, this girl's an alcoholic, but me looking at it, knowing, you know, what I was thinking at the time, and like what I was going through, and the changes I was going through, it's just so cool. It's so cool how the Lord works. It's so cool how like He already knew this was gonna happen. It's so cool how He changes us. It's His timing is everything, and every day is a new lesson. And I know I'm jumping around, but anyway, this is where I'm at now. I now live in North Carolina. I am pretty involved in my church now. I'm getting more and more involved. Hopefully I'll, you know, definitely step in and be way more involved, but I'm just getting to know everyone really well now, and building and forming relationships, and I definitely have my own little church family now, which is awesome, and I'm excited to just keep maturing and growing, and yeah. And now I have this to talk and vlog about Christ and my journey, and it's just really awesome. Also, I'm up for suggestions on any other videos you'd like to see. Though I got one comment that asked me to do this, so I figured this would be another good intro too, so you can kind of get to know me. I know I was all over the place, and I apologize for that. And I'm sure I missed a ton. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will definitely get back to you as soon as I can. Other than that, have a blessed evening, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye!